mandated that we actually show Black people how finances, how money works. What's the difference between real money and fiat money? It's things like that, that I had to learn on my own and learn from being around business owners and people that were financially successful. And I learned those things, and I felt that it was very important that I bring that back to my community because, right now, people, it's more important than ever that we get our money together, more so than money, really just coming together as a village, as a people, as a team. Dr. Claude Anderson said it best. He said, "We're born to play on a team. If we choose to play on a different team, the team loses by default. Or we choose to not play for the team we are born on, the team loses by default." And I know you know Dr. Claude Anderson very well. So we're all born on a team. At the end of the day, we got to play for the team that we're born on. Point blank,
Well,
plain and simple.
well, I agree with you. I mean, I think that that's a great theme that you had in the film, and I liked. I remember the one part that stood out to me was when somebody said that we were the only group that was really taught to do business in an integrated way. Like we had to integrate. Like if we
Yeah.
didn't include, our massa in our business, then somehow we weren't doing business right. And I hadn't really thought about that particular point. Um, you know, so let me ask you this. When you were doing the film, did you have anybody that felt like it was a little too black, or that you were trying to be too radical by promoting black economics and stuff like that? I mean, what was that part like for you? Because it was years ago, right? The world has changed since then.
Well, I mean, you have the naysayers, man. You on that black stuff. Black people ain't gonna never learn. I went to a black-owned business the other day, and my sandwich was cold. I ain't never going back to a black-owned business. So you have people that say that. But at the end of the day, it was my love for my community that said, "Hey, we got to do this." You know what I'm saying? Just like your love, Dr. Watkins, that you have for, the black community and knowing our greatness, knowing how powerful we are. We're just in a sleeping slumber now. And it's time that we wake up and really know and see who we are. You know what I'm saying? We're kings. I ended the film purposely with my reveal of knowing, that part of my roots go back to Ghana, but part of my roots are right here in America too. So I wanted to show that because a lot of people connect, kingship and all of that with Africa. So I wanted to show that, me finding out that I am a Khan and part of my roots are from Ghana, is just powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's powerful, and when you see that, and you see me sitting on being in stool, and you see me sliding on the shit on the slippers, and putting on the king's cape and all of that, it's just powerful. It's powerful images that we need to see. Other than the stuff that we see on these reality shows and the stuff, the killing and shooting up, that we see in these movies. It's time out for that. It's time that we start to tell another narrative.
Hmm.
And we start to tell-
I agree with you, and I think it's very important. I think I'm really optimistic. I remember back in 2013, I remember I was on a panel with Cornel West, and I remember he was very upset because he felt like black people were sleepwalking entirely, like we weren't doing anything in terms of activism, we weren't trying to grow, we weren't trying to evolve, and the world has really changed a lot since that time. The world ain't sleep no more, and even this black economic message that guys like you and I have been speaking on for a very long time, that's become popular. That's become the default now. Now, a lot of celebrities in mainstream media were speaking that language. And to me, it's a dream come true because I always dreamed of a day where guys like me would be, planning and plotting with people like Charlemagne the God on, okay, how do we get these candidates to respond to the black community differently? How do we, what are the economic issues that should be addressed? And I think that's really important because what it shows is that we're gaining our sovereignty, right? We're not sort of leaning on letting, for example, Al Sharpton answer every single question for the black community. We're going to our scholars, we're going to our lawyers, we're going to our health experts, we're going to our social workers, we're going to our teachers, we're going to our mothers and fathers and people in the community and our activists to really figure out what the comprehensive plan is for the community. And I just love that. And I want to just tell you this, man, Shalon and a few other people are asking where they can get a copy of the film. What's the website that people can go to dig in and get a copy for themselves?
Well, we've taken the website down. About a year ago, I took the site down because what I wanted to do, and I did this unbeknownst of the coronavirus, the riots that were happening, that are happening now, or that took place earlier this year. I just said I wanted to take the film down for a moment and hit the reset button. So what I'm doing is I'm actually re-editing the film, and I'm going to release it as a web series.
As a war series?
A web series.
Oh, web series. Oh, I like that. Very nice.
So what you guys will see, so you saw, Black Friday the remix. There's actually 3 installments. There's the film Black Friday, there's Black Friday the remix, and then there's Black Friday Part 2, which we traveled to several countries around the world. As you saw at the end of Black Friday the remix, that I found out that my DNA goes back to Ghana. So in Black Friday 2, I actually traveled to Ghana and actually went to the slave dungeons and, had that whole experience, grown men boohoo crying like babies, when they go into the slave dungeons. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing is I'm releasing this as a web series later this year. So I took the film down and actually stopped selling it as a DVD because right now everything that we see is through this.
Okay.
Want to take it digital, so you'll actually be able to have the film digital and have the film be able to view the film on your cell phone this year. So we'll be releasing that later this year around Black Friday. It'll be a web series, and we're adding some new elements to it. We're bringing the conversation. As you can see, the thing that I find most profound about the film as I watch it again, because I haven't watched this film in a while.
What's that?
The thing that I find profound is that I did this film 5 years ago, and it's as if I did this film yesterday. Because if you look at the riots, you look at the conversation, you look at what's going on today in the world, it's more profound now in 2020 than it was in 2015 when the first installment was released.
Right.
Because, you have so much more going on now. And so it's like, it was very prophetic, in producing this film in 2015. And now you fast forward to 2020, and the same thing is still happening. You know what I'm saying? We went from Trayvon Martin and Alton Sterling now to George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think that is like the fact that the internet has created a culture, right? Where we're highlighting things that have always occurred, but now everybody has a cell phone, so that becomes kind of a thing. Police killings are more likely to go viral. And what's interesting to me is, as a person that lives in Chicago, I think that what we have to also make sure that we do is control that conversation, so we don't get so caught up in police killings and we forget about that little 3-year-old girl who got shot in the head yesterday in Chicago. And maybe the person that killed her wasn't a cop, right? And so it's kind of an interesting sort of thing in that that I don't like the fact that other people are shaping what should matter to us. I think that we should decide what matters to us, and that's it. And also, someone was asking, Herc was asking about possibly showing your film to churches or youth ministries. So you said the website is down. Is there contact, a way people can reach out to?
Yeah, you can follow me at Rick Mathis. That's on IG. That's on Facebook, and we'll be releasing information on the new film, but also. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I was over at the studio today, and Dr. Watkins, I shared this when we were at the studio when you were here in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. So here's the thing. What we're going to do is I'm re-releasing the film as a web series, but we're also starting our own Black QVC.
So a Black QVC.
Yeah.
So shopping.
QVC, for people to understand what it is, it's a Black Home Shopping Network. So you'll actually be producing that content in the studio that's here in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's so surreal. Today we were actually down in one of the studios, actually setting the set for how it's going to look. And then to come here today and then show the film, it's just it's like a surreal moment. And I'm just excited about it. I mean, when you look at this film Black Friday, and you see the poet Infrared that did the piece, "Where's my receipt?" You know what I'm saying? Where is my receipt when I built America?
Mm.
And we continue to build and we can continue to innovate. You know what I'm saying? So it's time that we start circulating those dollars and build our own economy and build our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All those brands that we hold in high esteem that mean so much don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're suffering from a self-esteem problem. We're suffering from, wanting to look like, the Joneses and this other crowd. When at the end of the day, it's only a name that's on a particular product that makes it $10,000, $5,000, whatever the price is for it. It's time that we wake up out of that spell and understand that the products that we create is really what holds value, because those dollars, when we invest those dollars, and I like to say invest versus spend, when we invest those dollars circulate in our community, and those dollars help to feed another Black family.
Right. Well, everybody in the chat that gets what we're saying, type the word invest. Type the word invest in the chat, because investing is important. Now, a lot of millionaires, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of millionaires don't really spend money. They make investments, and they just happen to be investments that they get to enjoy. So they'll start a family business and get to write off the family vacation because they're doing business on the vacation, right? So everybody type the word invest. That should be a part of your culture. You should still spend if you want to. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you got to invest as much as you spend, and preferably invest more than what you spend. And I want to answer a question from Latasha. Latasha's asking about the difference between the Black Stock Market Program and the Black Stock Market Weekend. That's a great question, and it reminded me to tell you guys one thing. Some of you are already in the Black Stock Market Program in the Black Business School. You guys, surprise, you get to come to the Black Stock Market Weekend absolutely free. This was created for you. So those who want to come to the Black Stock Market Weekend can come in two ways. You can either pay a one-time fee. It's $249, but for the next 48 hours, you can get 48% off. And that drops it down to, I think, $129, $139, something like that. Or you can actually do a 30-day trial in the Black Stock Market Program for $1. So you can either do the $1 trial in the Black Stock Market Program, or you can pay the one-time fee. It's totally up to you. And in that weekend, what we're going to do is we're going to go through an 11-step methodology that I put together specifically. You guys know I'm a finance professor. I say it all the time because new people come in and they don't know. They think I'm a guy on the internet just talking about stocks. People read a couple books and they feel like they're an expert. No, I studied this for 27 years at a PhD level. So what I did was I put together a methodology that you won't see in any book, you won't see anywhere, and it's designed specifically for you, specifically for Black people, based on where your income levels are, where your knowledge base is, what your liquidity needs are, and you're gonna love it. Nobody else has this anywhere. So feel free to go to either the blackstockmarketweekend.com and you can do the one-time fee, or go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com and you can do the $1 trial. Totally up to you. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna let it get back to Rick. So Rick, let me ask you this, man. In terms of Atlanta and filmmaking, there's a lot happening in Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta really is what Hollywood used to be. When I think about making a movie or whatever, I'm not really trying to go out west anymore. I go south, right? One interesting thing though is it seems that so much of Atlanta film is encapsulated by Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry Studios in Madea. And while we're very proud of Tyler and what he does, smart guy, Black cinema can't be consumed. Even 10% of what we're building can't be Madea, right? It can't. Even 10% shouldn't be Tyler Perry. It should be, there should be the Rick Mathises and Madam President and everybody else, all the other great filmmakers that are out there. How do you work on that? How do you sort of progress away from Atlanta film Tyler Perry, Medea, to something that's more comprehensive and universal that has a complete respect for our humanity, where there's space for Medea, but there's a whole lot more for us to choose from.
Well, I will say this with respect. Tyler Perry knows it, but at the end of the day, Medea is dead, which is why he retired Medea.
Okay.
Even though that story has been told, that story is not going to be sufficient in this particular day and age.
So wait, so Medea ain't coming back? No more Medea movies? Medea's Christmas, Medea, Fool Halloween, none of that? Medea goes to jail. Medea shot your cousin. Like no more Medea movies?
Yeah, exactly. She's done. No more.
No, I don't believe you. I don't. How many of y'all believe him? You're lying, man. You're lying. I put 5 on it. Medea ain't dead because Medea's $1 billion brand. There's no way. Killing Medea will be like Disney killing Mickey Mouse. That ain't happening. What you really? You know how he's like? It's like the rappers. You know, the rappers always say they're retiring and then they come back and they're really just reinventing themselves. I think he's coming. Medea's coming back. No way.
Hey, well,
what makes you think she's gone?
We got to call him out on it because he said Medea was done. He was retired Medea. You know what I'm saying? And the thing too, like so it's time out. Like when you look at Tyler Perry, right? I love the model. I love what he's done in terms of building a studio that's black on, that's so amazing, like stellar. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the content that he produces, we need some help in that area, Tyler. So need to reach out to some filmmakers and, help with creative stories, and that will really be, resonate with the people of today, the stories that they want to hear today. So in terms of Atlanta right now is like the Wild Wild West. You have filmmakers, you have producers, you have directors, everybody moving to Atlanta to produce film content, right? So everybody's just doing it their way because once again, in the film industry, there aren't any rules right now. It's, the only rule is be creative and tell a good story. And that's what wins. So, which is the reason why we're starting Studio House Atlanta, which is the name of the studio that will be the flagship will be based in Atlanta, in downtown Atlanta, because what we're doing is we're bringing a coalition of independent filmmakers, content creators together so that we can then say, this is how, when you come to Atlanta, you're going to have to come through Studio House Atlanta. We're going to set the tone. We're going to set the guidelines. We're going to set how things are supposed to be shot in Atlanta. And these will be the go-to people because our goal is to create Black excellence. I think I was sharing this with you when you came by the studio. Our goal is to produce Black excellence, whether that's photography, whether that's video, documentaries, commercials, stellar top stuff. So when you come to Atlanta, we will be one of the go-to, not saying that we will be the only one, but we will be one of the go-to people that says, hey, you come to Atlanta from New York, you come to Atlanta from LA, and you need to have content produced, go to Studio House Atlanta. This is the guideline. So that's what we're doing because Atlanta really needs a code of ethics, if you will, for the film community. And they need to have, bringing independent filmmakers together because that's really what we're doing. We're bringing independent filmmakers together and we're just producing some dope content.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I think that, I was just talking, when I went down to Atlanta, I visited you guys, and then I went to meet with Madam President, an excellent creative out there, and also Jay Morrison. I went and hung out at the Black House with Jay. And what I really think is that, all these little meetings all of us are having, it's developing an infrastructure, I think, that can allow us to do some amazing stuff. And I think that, we've got to build and we got to create. I think that, with Jay, what Jay and I talked about today was I said, we need an award show, and we sat there, we talked about it on the phone and basically the awards, the concept that we put together was, I think the working title that Jay and I are using now is the Tubman Garvey Black Excellence Awards. And we're going to do it at the Black House. And I work with Jay because Jay's a guy that gets things done. He's not a guy that just does all his yapping. We got a whole lot of yappers, a whole lot of, people that, oh, I got this big vision, we can do this and do that. Well, you got to know the difference between talking and doing. If you ain't doing nothing, then you ain't said nothing. You're talking, for every one word that comes out of your mouth, there are 100 words that come out through every action. And so the reason I like to work with guys like yourself or guys like Jay and some others in the industry, Dorian Chandler and some others, is I like people that get things done, even if it's not done perfectly. If it's finished and it's complete, then it's done. And, because what happens is you have too many people that go around peddling hope. And they talk big. They talk, they talk big shit, but the bank account ain't matching. You know what I mean? Like they talking, the dream is big. I'm gonna set up a gigantic shopping mall, $1 billion project that's gonna take over the world. And that's great, but that becomes very overwhelming and very stressful when you're thinking like, how are we gonna get all the money to do this? And you're like, so what have you even done to even begin the process? And they haven't lifted one brick, haven't bought no plots of land, haven't set up any sort of plan. And I remember when Jay was putting together the Tulsa Fund, and the reason I'm bringing Jay in also is because you got to give him his props for probably doing what is pulling off one of the biggest feats in this generation. That Tulsa Fund, that was some gigantic stuff. I mean, this man raised millions of dollars right out of the Black community, more individual investors than any other fund in America, white funds included, right? And this guy goes and raises all this money. And I remember when he called me and told me what he was trying to do. And I listened and I said, and I told Alicia, I said, he really dotted all his I's and crossed his T's. I think this guy might really do it. And I said, well, if you do it, I told him what I tell everybody. I said, well, if you do it, give me a call. I'll back you up. And my man showed up with all the paperwork intact, a full plan to put it together. So I said, okay, I told you I'd follow up. Here you go. I wrote a check. Nipsey Hussle wrote a check. A lot of people, and I love that because I felt there's nothing that makes you feel more like a grown ass man than when you're doing something for your people. Because I think that's what the Black man's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a leader, a builder, a creator, a developer, a defender, an orchestrator, a leader, a visionary. Like we're supposed to do all these things together. And what's happened to this point, in my opinion, is that other people were the ones who had the big vision, and we ended up becoming chess pieces in somebody else's vision. We're the little pawns that are moving around the chessboard, and there's no pride in that, right? So that's what excites me about this generation. I think that what you're doing is going to last. It's going to have an impact that's over 100 years. So I want to ask you this: what is your next? So you mentioned the web series. You mentioned Studio House Atlanta, which everybody should check this out. I went there. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You got to go check it out. So it sounds like you got a lot on your plate right there. Is there anything else that you have planned coming up that we should know about?
Man, so we have a few other projects, but those are the ones that we can talk about now and really focus on.
Okay.
But I will say this: there will be a lot of content produced out of Studio House Atlanta. We have some amazing things coming. I mean, it's an exciting time. Also, I co-host a show with a young lady by the name of Sonia Booker, who's my partner with Studio House Atlanta, called The New Code of Wealth. And we have this show on rolling out every Friday at 1 p.m. And basically what it is dealing with, the pivot, after the coronavirus. BC, which is before coronavirus, we were doing business one way. And, after the coronavirus, we're doing business a different way. So, that's some of the things that we're talking about. And tomorrow's conversation is really evolving around or dealing with education, which, you deal with homeschool a lot. So we're really talking about, asking the question, are you sending your child back to school for fall semester? That's the question, that we're asking, and you can join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Rolling Out, to have that discussion about that and to offer resources. We'll have one of the Atlanta School Board members there on the show tomorrow, as well as a couple of professors and some other people that are, talking about this conversation. It's a very important conversation. And I think we're at a pivotal time now because school has been like this, if you're looking at the rhythm. When the young people's mind is like this, as you know how quick their attention span and how short their attention span is. They can only stay focused on a certain thing for, a few seconds. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that the school system really needs to be revamped. And I think with the COVID-19 coronavirus, it's a great time to do that, to totally revamp, the school system. And, why am I taking certain subjects that it's really not going to help me to make money, or really not going to enhance who I am? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you go to school to make money. So why not, find out, identify what a young child's passion is, and then support that. If he likes art, if she likes, fashion, let's get behind them and encourage them to do that. So that's really what I feel the new platform for schools should be.
Well,
So
I agree with you. I think COVID is a great opportunity for everybody that's watching. I think COVID is a great opportunity for you to really detox yourself from that system. I think it's a great chance for you to form new habits. If you can accomplish two things, then you can pretty much be free in America right now. One is figure out a way to make money that does not involve you going to work. There's a whole lot of different ways to make money out here besides giving up hours of your life, thousands of hours. Remember, if you work 40 hours a week, that's 2,000 hours a year. That's 20,000 hours every decade. That's 80,000 hours by the time you retire. That's a lot of time you can be spent, thousands of hours that you can spend with your kids, spend with your parents before they die, spend with yourself, finding yourself, living your life, enjoying your life. So why do you think about this? You talk about slavery. There was a great conversation about slavery. We think slaves have to work for free. We think that slavery means you work for nothing. No, you can get paid and be a slave. Slavery is the lack of freedom. It's a lack of control. So two ways you can be free in America. One is figure out a way to make your money without having to go to that job. And then two, find a way to educate your kids outside of that system. The internet is here. People like me are here. Every Thursday, the Black Business School has a free homeschooling training sessions from Nomalanga Mushali Moses, who's all the way down in South Africa, but she understands America very well because she lived here for 20 years. She does those every Thursday at noon. So we have all the resources you need. I'm a smart professor. I know other smart people. We can teach you everything you need to know. And most importantly, with your kids, think about this. Our kids will go to school and learn about George Washington. They will go to school and learn about Old English literature. They will, after school, learn how to play football and basketball. And none of those things will help them to pay their bills when they get older. None of those things are going to help them survive in America in terms of what they do with their children and their family. So it's not that those things don't matter. It's that those things should not be the top priority. You go to school a lot of times because you have to make money. And so I said, well, why aren't our kids taking a class just on how to make money? Right? Rich people do this. Rich people do this. Seriously, if some of y'all hate Donald Trump, well, guess what? Donald Trump's father did that with him. That's what he taught him. He sent him to military school so he could learn how to be tough, and then he sent him to school on how to make money. He taught him about stocks and bonds, taught him about real estate, taught him about owning businesses, and he said, son, if you know these three things, you ain't got to know nothing else, really, not in America. Right? So at the end of the day, give your children the right education so they can have the building blocks to be successful, so they don't feel the way some of you have felt, all of us have felt when you didn't have enough money, when you didn't have enough opportunity, when some horrible white man was telling you what to do. That ain't fun. We know this. So we're breaking out of this. Let's get out of jail together. Right? So last point, I want to ask Rick, how can people get in touch with you? How can they follow up with you if they want to talk to you and work with you and stuff like that?
Man, I would say follow me on IG at Rick without the K Mathis. Follow me on Facebook, same thing, Rick without the K Mathis. Inbox me, message me. We have a lot of exciting things that are coming up. That I would love for you guys to be a part of. If you're a filmmaker, if you're a storyteller, definitely we need more cinematographers. We need more people to edit. So we will be submitting a call, online and, through different platforms such as Dr. Bush Watkins, to look for these great people, because I am going to my community first, to find, that 5-star talent that we're looking for to produce this great content.
All right. All right. So that's Rick Mathis without the C. It's spelled R-I-C. Get his name right, because we'll say it again.
Rick Mathis without the K.
Oh, without the K. I said without the C, didn't I? I was thinking about the C, but I should have said without the K. But I know how to spell your name. I know it's not R-I-K. It's R-I-C. R-I-C Mathis. Sorry, guys. I no disrespect. Rick's been my friend for years. I know how to spell his name. And also, some of you were asking about the Black Stock Market Weekend. Don't forget, that's the weekend of August 7th. If you are a member of the Black Stock Market Program, you can get in for free, right? So this is for you guys. But if you're not a member, you can either join, go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, THE, that's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. The first month is $1 if you want to do a trial, or you can just buy a ticket and come in directly, and you get 48% off for the next 48 hours. To do that, you would go to theblackstockmarketweekend.com. Somebody type that in, please. That's theblackstockmarketweekend.com. It's the weekend of August 7th. I'll break down the 11-step method. I'm going to spend the whole weekend training you on an 11-step method to add investments to your portfolio. It's something I know that works because it's exactly what I do, and it's worked very well for me, and it fits all the science, and it will be very easy. Bring your kids, bring your baby mama, bring your grandma Lucy, bring everybody, because everybody that comes there will learn, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 3 days. So thanks a lot, Rick, man. It was great to see you, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for the people watching and attending. Looking forward to the exciting things that are coming. And also I want to thank the people that, helped to make Black Friday a success. Everybody from the producers that are involved with the film, the editors, the cinematographers, the people that carried the film in bookstores and places like that, and the entire cast that was, in Black Friday. We got some exciting things coming up with Black Friday, and can't wait to share it with you guys.
Awesome. Well, everybody, before you go, if you could, please join me in giving Rick a digital round of applause. Please thank him for his hard work. This brother's been working for years on this project. I met him back probably 2015, 2014, something like that. And I saw Black Friday 1. And I remember when I saw it, I was a little jealous. I said, how come nobody asked me to be in it? But then what was funny was that I didn't even say it. Sometimes I have these thoughts and I don't let them out. I was like, man, that wasn't right. They didn't ask me to, but I'm kidding. But no, but they did actually reach out. You did reach out. And I thought that was great, but I was kidding. If you didn't have, you ain't got to have me in the movie. But I was honored and flattered to be a part of it. I have a tremendous amount of respect for this brother. He is our Steven Spielberg, right? So let's stop worshiping what they got going on and start really supporting and being a part of what we got going on. Because I believe, I don't know about y'all, but I believe that what we got going on is better than what they can ever have going on. Because we the best, we number one. Give a salute to Black people. Be1, hashtag Be1 in the chat. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'll announce when the next Black Movie Night is coming. I'll put you guys on the list. I'll email you a few times and let you know when it's going to happen. We're going to keep doing this. If you have a film, if you have a project, if you are a filmmaker and you want to be considered for a Black Movie Night, email or type in this email somebody for me so everybody can see it. It's producer@flynubianmedia.com. That's producer@flynubianmedia.com. So I'm saying one more time, producer@flynubianmedia.com. You email, send over a link to your video, and we'll take a look, and we'll consider you for Black Movie Night if you'd like to be on it. We're here to support the growing Black film industry, and we got big plans, a lot of big things popping for 2022, 2021, 22, 23, and beyond. So love you guys. Thank you for everything. God bless all of you, and I'll see you guys real soon. Thanks a lot, Rick. Take care, brother. All right. Peace.